Hello. If you're an adult who thinks that they can't draw, this video is for you. I'm going to do a quick tree that I guarantee anyone can do. So let's get started. So we're just doing a basic tree. We're not going to be the next Da Vinci or anything. We're just going to do a quick little sketch. So let me show you what we're going to do. So first, I'm just going to draw a line. Make sure that you guys can see that. If you can see that, great. Looks like it's good. Okay. Now this is just our action line. We could make an action line that resembled a curvy tree like this, right? We can make our lines go in any direction that we want. We're going to stick with this guy for now, and we're just going to make a quick box. And the box will go out, it'll taper down away from our center line so that we can make some roots. Super simple, right? Then I'm just gonna make a circle or an oval. We're gonna do that a couple different times. Just like that. Super easy. Okay, and you just, you add little areas. I'm making these like little arcs to kind of show that this is going behind the tree. Right? Now, this is our basic sketch. It's just a couple shapes. Nothing too crazy. All right. And then we get something a little darker. So if you're using pencil, that's perfect. You just want to draw really lightly. And then we're just going to come over and darken in. And this is where we start to add the detail. So I'm going to go around these shapes, these little bumps. This is going to be more of a cartoonish tree. Again, I'm not going for the most perfect rendered tree. This is for people who feel like they can't draw. I want to show you that you can. You see how I've got this coming up behind, and I could even just add some little branches right here. Then we're going to come over here, just doing the outline. And this is really, this is the simplest way to make it look like it's overlapping. You just kind of bring it over. This line kind of acts as if it's going behind, and we haven't even added any shading. I just recently started a different channel where I teach kids how to draw at home. Simple sketches like this. But I started thinking today, actually, that a lot of adults feel like they can't draw. And I think that it is a hobby that is well worth pursuing. So right now I'm just adding some texture, just some little texture lines around the perimeter. And the direction of my lines really depends on what side of the tree I'm on. So if I'm on this left side, it's like upper left here, my bumps are going to follow that same pattern, that direction. Now as you get to the middle, things can get a little bit crazy. You could even start to open up some little holes here. Start poking in some branches. See that? So then it's almost as if this branch was coming off of this branch. You could do the same thing here. Just darken in this little area. Super simple. And as we're getting down here, I'm thinking about my light source. And light can be very, very complicated, but we don't have to make it complicated, right? Again, I'm not expecting anyone to be a Da Vinci from this video. I just want to show you a simple way of thinking about drawing that's easy and approachable. So with our light source, we're going to be thinking about, I'm going to think about the light coming from here. So I'm darkening in these darker areas that would not necessarily be hit by the light. And even down here, I can kind of add some depth. Some layers of leaves that are not at all getting hit by the light. And over here, it's on the opposite side of where the light is, so that means that there's no chance that you would see the details. They'd be covered in shadow. Right, and then you see how I kind of did these wavy lines. I didn't really explain that, but this line is really helpful for communicating a texture. And so this is just it's not a perfectly straight line. It's got a little bit of bumps. And then I can just come in here and add some texture. Now with a pencil, you can get a whole lot of thinner and thicker lines. With a marker, it's a little bit more difficult. This is just to show you how easy it is. And I am going to do a little bit less texture lines on this side of the tree, just to show. You see how these are closer together, and you've got a little bit more darker spots. It's because it's further away from the light. Here, I'm just gonna do a quick little root here down the middle, and I can add some grass. Right, and then again, just adding some textured lines to one side. Okay. Again, our tree is coming this way, or our light is coming from this direction. So we could just do some simple shading here. Simple cast shadow. And this is just going to be flat on the ground. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Just communicate a little bit of that form. Right, and then let's do a little bit more shading and get a little bit more in depth here. So again, I'm going to do it broader. Coming down here, slightly lighter than our darkest value. I could even make some texture around the bottom. I can just start to really add in some texture. This is just a quick sketch. If you were to take longer to go piece by piece, inch by inch, you could make this a really highly detailed drawing. It's details, really all of drawing is just shapes. And depending on how simple or complex, depends on the number of shapes that you incorporate into your drawing. And even looking at shading, this is literally just, they're just shapes. The lines, shapes, dots. You see how the longer I spend on an area, the more detailed it gets. So I'm just adding interest and texture, leaf areas. It's not terribly difficult. I might make it look easy, but I assure you it is. It might take you a little bit of work, but I really believe this is worth doing in the end. Here, I'm going to leave some white space that kind of just, again, gives this illusion that there's areas that are raised up, right? Fill in some of this. Now, if you're using pencil, this is perfect because you can go in and you can use your finger or a piece of paper rolled up, and you can blend this all together and make it really smooth. You could also go to a craft store with your sketching supplies and you could get a paper stump like this. Let me just show you. You could just shade with the side of your pencil, and you take your stump and you can spread that pencil around, and you get varying values that just gradually get lighter and lighter and lighter as you get closer to your light source. So take advantage of paper or a stump or your finger. Let me go with the colorless blender. Hopefully I can show you a little bit of what I mean here. Oh yeah. So this is going to take a lot of my on my marker, similar concept, and it's going to spread that marker around just a little bit. Maybe not as much as a pencil would, but it gets the idea. Across. And also, again, I can just go in and add some more value, add some more subtle texture, draw somebody in. This is I'm going really abusing this marker. So I just wanted to make this video. I just wanted to show people that it really is possible to draw. And I don't want you to feel like you have to have it perfect. This drawing is far from perfect. But it's super quick, and I find that just sitting down and drawing, even if it's not a masterpiece, really helps clear my mind. I feel like a lot of us need that nowadays. We're so distracted. I love YouTube, but we're just so distracted by all of the noise. And just sitting down with a pencil and a piece of paper or a sketchbook and just drawing and just getting lost in like making the details and practicing different things is just a great way to meditate, and no one has to see it. That's the best part. No one has to see your drawings. You never have to show them. But I would encourage you, if you feel like you want to learn to draw, try this out and let me know in the comments how it went. All right, I will see you guys in the next video.